Chattle. Oh.
It's a Star Wars podcast, baby. And it's Darth David and Jedi Jared bringing you the greatest Star Wars talk on the internet. Our rankings have gone up out of 9,468
Whoa!
Star Wars podcasts.
That's like 2,000
We are
up.
9,657.
Oh, wow. We're like up 2,000 points.
We are up 2,000 ranking spots. We are doing fantastically. My name is Darth David. You know me. With him is Jedi Jared.
Hello, David. How are you?
Today's episode is going to be fast and to the point.
And furious?
Fast and furious. And I'll tell you why. Don't blame me, Yaddle heads. My life is just one goddamn fucking... You know, it's like my life sometimes feels like Memento. Ever see that movie, Memento?
Yes.
Did you ever see that?
So
Where the guy's just walking around, he doesn't know what the hell's going on. He's got to like look at clues and try to figure out what's going on with his life because he's got some brain damage because he's a goddamn fucking idiot. He's got some sort of brain disease.
No, he's
So
got a short-term memory.
Short-term memory loss. And so 8,000 things have to happen. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. That's the same thing. I got dogs over here barking at Jedi Jared. And by the way, I can't blame them. I can't blame the dog, Jedi Yaddle heads.
Why? What'd I do?
She does not like Jedi Jared. And then on top of it, I have to pick up my mom today at the airport. And she says, I'm going to be 2 hours early. What? Who the hell is 2 hours early on a plane flight? I've never heard of that in my entire life. Like, so now all of a sudden, we're already here in the smack of the day, in the middle of the daytime. We're doing this a little bit earlier, where I'm being responsible. I'm saying even with having to pick up my mom at the airport, well, we gotta give the Yaddle heads what they want.
Especially in the middle of Mando season.
We're recording this Yaddle episode 2 hours, 3 hours earlier than usual, so that I can get myself about an hour or so to get up to the airport.
Yes.
Newark Airport, New Jersey.
I was just
doing everything by the book. And then all of a sudden she texts me. You know what she texts me? Hey, the flight has been delayed. Great. Won't have to worry, won't have to stress out about Yaddle Chattle. She goes, but now I'm on a plane that's going to get me there 2 hours early. So she's the first human in the history, my mother is the first human in the history of fucking flying where a plane delay has resulted in her getting to the airport 2 hours earlier than she had if she took her normal flight. I don't know how she's getting delayed and now fucking time traveling. What is she going through the fucking Bermuda Triangle? Is she going through, some sort of fucking time vortex? Is this turning into a goddamn Ancient Alien episodes? Is this turning into a Davy Max Area 51? Where she's figuring out some sort of fucking weird Stargate? Her delayed flight is she's gonna go through some sort of patch in the universe that's gonna pop up right in front of Newark, New Jersey. She's gonna arrive there about 2 hours earlier.
I don't know, but I wish I had...
What am I supposed to do with Yaddle Chattle today?
Well, we're
just gonna review fucking Mando episode 4 and then just get the hell out of here, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we should
Jesus,
do.
Beanie. And then I got this dog. Look at this, Yaddle heads. You want to see this?
Oh, dear Lord.
Then we got this. Oh, shit. I just knocked down Luke.
You look...
And Grogu.
You knocked down Luke and Grogu.
Look at this. This is my mom's dog, Yaddle heads. Here, and no big issue, except for one thing. I'm Darth David, he's Jedi Jared. Yet my mom's dog, her name is Dolly, is treating Jared like the Sith.
So she's Darth Dolly.
She just doesn't like him at all. She just reacted to you in a way that I was very surprised that she does not react like that to anyone else. You can see me. She allows me to keep her pet. But boy, look at this. Look at how you tried to pet her and she just gave you the eye.
She probably smells like cats.
She just doesn't like you. Now, what's that all about? It's your weird aura.
Oh. Okay.
Some people would refer to it as nebbish, but I refer to it as awkward and strange.
Yeah, I get that.
Anyway, say goodbye to Dolly, Yaddleheads. My mom is as soon as I pick up my mom from the airport, I'm saying, take her with you. Although now that I've learned that she's a guard dog against Jedi Jared, I might have to keep Dolly permanently now.
Oh, that means I don't have to do this anymore?
No, it's just that she's a guard dog now. Because Yaddleheads, can I say this one time? I brought this up the other day on the Davey Mac Sports program, not the same show, not even the same host as far as I'm concerned. That's hosted by Davey Mac. This is by Darth David. And I brought this up. This is like 2 months ago or 3 months ago. I always shower before Yaddle Chattle.
Yes.
Because I take a nap and then I shower. Not today, because for some reason my alarm clock didn't go off. And now I can't even shower because now I have to pick up my mom at the airport. So I'm a real dirtbag today. What can I say? I'm a Sith. Whoops! Anyway, here's the point.
Okay.
What was I talking about?
Showering.
You came to my house 2 or 3 months earlier. He was in my house already before I was walking out of the shower.
Well, I thought you left it open for me.
Yeah, but it's usually proper for a knock and I'm here, Dave. You know, I'm here, Dave.
I'm pretty sure I did that. And you just
he didn't do it.
You were listening to.
He didn't do.
Either you were listening to some sports show, or you were listening to Rebel Force Radio.
He didn't do it. So I'm walking out with my fucking towel, like this is fucking Halle Berry in the James Bond movie, where I'm wearing my orange bikini, and I'm soaking wet, and there's Jared. I go, ah! I go, whoa! Hey! I didn't know you was here, Jared.
I thought I texted you and you told me. Okay.
Hey! And then I'm gonna be like, would you mind? Is it gonna bother you if this towel slips? I am a Sith, so I figured, why not make him uncomfortable? Like that Bert Kreischer. So his gimmick is public nudity, borderline sexual harassment.
Oh,
that's like his comedy character.
Oh,
and the only reason why I'm anti Bert Kreischer is because he stole Razzle Dazzle and is calling his new stand-up Razzle Dazzle, which is a Davey Mac catchphrase going back for 15 years minimum. So I got that sent to me by a whole bunch of people. So I checked them out, and it's just some guy who puts his dick in people's faces. How is this being still allowed?
Well, you have to understand something.
He actually did that to me.
What, put his dick in your
face?
I'm not surprised about that.
I was invited backstage by comedian Jay Moore to Jay Moore's show in Count Basie, Red Bank, New Jersey. And Jay Moore's like, my opener's this guy Bert. You heard? Let's go across the whole lot. Let's go across the hallway and see this guy. He's a funny up and coming comedian. We knocked on the door and the door opened up. And when he opened it up, it was all dick and balls, and I'm like, I didn't enjoy this experience at all. This wasn't the backstage experience that I was hoping for.
Well, I'm pretty sure that was a setup, knowing this.
No shit!
But I
still didn't enjoy it.
It hurts me to hear someone as funny and as talented as Mr. J. Moore is say such nice things about Bert Kreischer, because...
He did. He said, this is my opener. That's all he said.
He's literally...
You just fucking put a whole goddamn speech in Jay Moore's mouth that I never even said.
Well,
he literally said he's at the fucking opener.
Yeah, he said, but he's a very funny, funny, talented
That's
guy.
barely a thing, dude.
I mean...
This wasn't about Jay Moore.
I know.
That's
about Bert Kreischer.
I'm talking to you sometimes.
No, I'm saying Bert Kreischer sucks.
Okay, thank you.
No, he's right. Well, the reason why all of that happens is because he rides Joe Rogan's coattails.
Okay, I could care less about fucking Bert Kreischer. It was just a throwaway line. And when I actually have a personal story, just let me tell the story. And then say, that's a weird fucking story, Davey Mac.
That's a weird fucking story, Davey Mac.
No, you're making this into Bert Kreischer's channel. We're going to spend the whole... We are on a clock. My mom is flying over the Gulf of Mexico as we speak. She is going to be in Newark, New Jersey in fucking 4 minutes.
I don't think that's how that works if you come from Palm Beach.
And I am here in fucking... I'm not good with maps. You know me. I don't do the cartography thing.
Okay.
All right? So I don't know what the directions are. I don't know how you fly. All I know is she's in Florida. She's got to go over somewhere to get to fucking Newark, New Jersey. She was supposed to be here 2 hours later. So now I got to fucking micro machines this goddamn Yaddle episode.
Okay, well then.
You're trying to turn it into a fucking Bert Kreischer special.
Oh, God, no. This will be way funnier than a Burt Kreischer special.
By the way, may I ask one question before we get into a little Star Wars here?
Go ahead.
3 or 4 weeks ago, one of the greatest developments in the history of Yaddle Chattle occurred. When you brought me ribs.
Okay.
I was kind to you that episode, and I thought it was very loving for a Sith especially.
Would you
since
like me,
then,
you want me to bring you more
bupkis.
barbecue? Okay.
Jack and shit. Not even a fucking piece of bread and butter at this point. Now, I thought after the ribs, we had something special. You bring Darth David
Well,
a
you
little
never told
food.
me how good they were.
I did tell you, you fucking liar. Sometimes I wonder
You never told
if
me
you
if
get
you liked them
smoked
or
up
not.
and don't read my text messages because I fucking texted you that the ribs were great, you
Okay.
piece of shit.
Well,
I texted you that.
Well, I'm making chicken tonight, unfortunately.
What kind? Let's go. Talk turkey to me. Ironically.
I've
just talk chicken, I suppose.
I fixed my smoker, so now I can use my smoker.
Louder. Get on that mic.
I'm
We're
on
not
the
doing
mic.
it this week.
I fixed my smoker. It had an auger jam. So I'm going to be smoking some barbecue chicken tonight.
Okay, what do we put on the chicken is my point.
Stubbs barbecue sauce.
All right. So I like legs when it comes to barbecue chicken. I like it all, but I love a chicken leg.
You
a
like
barbecue
dark meat.
chicken leg.
Okay.
I didn't say dark meat. I wanted a barbecue chicken leg.
Okay, well, legs are dark meat.
No, I'm sorry. A drum.
No, that's dark meat. Same
All right,
shit.
whatever it is.
Same shit.
Can I get a little chicken
Yeah.
next week? Please.
No, I'm going to make wings this weekend.
And
I'll save you some.
how are you, can you do a pot roast? Also a meatloaf. I feel like I'm in the mood for a meatloaf as well. So I'd like that. Meatloaf with some mashed potatoes and string beans. And I need a gallon of milk, too, to wash it down. So do all that by next Yaddle Chattle, okay?
Yeah.
Don't forget a little rice pudding for dessert, too, after I have this nice dinner.
This isn't a diner.
What the fuck? You're the guy who established the cooking rules.
No. Cooking rules. You're like, I want a pot roast. Last pot roast I made was not that great. I made a pulled pork last weekend.
Ooh, I want some of that, too. Give me a pulled pork, and I want a meatloaf.
11 hours in the
How about
slow
pork
cooker.
chops?
Pulled. I've never made pork chops actually before.
I love the fact that you eat the pork
I
for
love pork.
being a Jewish person.
Oh yeah, I want to be known as the Jew who makes pork.
All right.
My ribs.
Now
are
talking to the
small.
microphone.
No, my pulled pork I made it in the
God bless you.
11 hours. Oh my god! I kept the fat on and I cooked the fat on top.
All right.
That
This
way it
isn't a
keeps it
fucking
moist.
goddamn Top Chef with Padme Lakshmi. Okay, this isn't Top Chef Chattle. I don't see fucking Tom Colicchio here. This is Yaddle Chattle, my friends. It's time to talk about the Star Wars.
Okay, let's talk about
Damon Lindelof. Is he in? Is he out?
He's out.
New word that Damon Lindelof might be leaving his Star Wars project before it ever got off the ground.
No, they handed in a script and.
All right, what happened? You talk to me here.
Okay, let me bring up the story.
Because I didn't see the news story. So let us talk about Damon Lindelof for a second. Of course, creator of Lost, one of the creators of Lost. Thought he did a great job. I am a big Lost fan. I'm not a complainer of later season Losts. I actually love every single Lost episode and season. I love it. And then I also watched The Leftovers on HBO.
From what I've read,
and I thought that was great too. I'm a big Damon Lindelof fan.
From what I've read, he said, I will just say, for the reason that I can't go into this Sunday morning, on this day, the degree of difficulty is extremely, extremely high. If the film can't be great, it shouldn't exist. That's all I'll say. I have some association with Star Wars, as you do, which is, it's the first movie I saw sitting in my dad's lap, 4 years old, May of 1977. I think it's possible that sometimes when you hold something in such high reverence and esteem, you start to get in the kitchen and you just go, maybe I shouldn't be cooking. Maybe
Jesus
I
Christ.
should just be eating.
This is
We'll
an
leave it at
issue.
that.
Okay, all right. I think we got the gist. This is becoming an issue. In that I'm feeling like Star Wars right now is getting a lot of people who become intimidated quickly. And that's a shame. Again, Darth David, all I do is got ideas. That's all I got.
You know what I think it is? They turned in some kind of treatment, and maybe they actually got smart and turned it over maybe to have Favreau and this is just headcanon here, that they might have turned it over to Favreau and Filoni to read, and they're just like, this is garbage. So they're just like, okay, we don't need you right now. Because, I can kind of see something like that happening, considering, like, right now, they're kind of on fire with the Star Wars content. Or maybe even Bob read it himself, and he was like, this is garbage. I don't think we need you.
Bob Iger is making a difference. We are seeing it right now.
He's firing people.
We are seeing him fire all kinds of people, and he just fired a lady who was a Marvel big time.
She left. It's debating on which article you read.
No, yeah. She left because Bob Iger told her to get off the fucking premises. That's why she left. No, he said no more. Because Disney's made a lot of content mistakes, in my opinion. They've done a lot of stupid things, outthinking themselves. Just give us the heroes that we love, fighting bad guys that we love. It's that simple. With Star Wars and Marvel, you don't have to kill everyone. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to make every character a character that's going to appease everyone's political sensibilities. At some point, you say, "Fuck people. These are Star Wars movies and these are Marvel movies. They are for escapism, not to tell some sort of modern day commentary." The reason why I know this for a fact is because I read articles from George Lucas in the 70s, and even though I was 0 years old in May of 1977, I was born in November of 1977, but May I was still in my mom's stomach area / vagina area. That's where the baby is somehow. I still don't know how kids are made, but I think my dad had to pour some magic potion down her throat.
Something like that.
And they mix it up, and then the kid is born somehow in the stomach and vagina, and it's shot out of that area. I don't know where exactly, but nevertheless, I was only just, I was the size of a caterpillar when my mom did go to see Star Wars, by the way, with my 3 older brothers in the theater of May 1977 while pregnant with a Dave man. My point is, you don't got to change things that are classic. What you got to do is bring new things, bring new characters, bring new situations, bring new problems, bring new epic moments, bring new mythology. But when you have certain characters or certain ways of doing things, you don't got to change that. Disney right now is changing too much stuff that has legitimately worked for 50 years to audiences. And then when they try to change those things and people reject it, they go, well, I guess the people don't like it for such and such modern day current society political issues or blah, blah, blah. Well, and this is not a political statement from me. Okay, I could give a shit what anyone's politics are. For real. I'm a fucking true blue Sith. I'm in this for me, baby. Me and mine. I don't fucking trust any of them. I wish more goddamn Americans got back to the fucking mental fucking thoughts of the 40s and 50s where we Americans didn't trust anyone from Washington, D.C. But anyway, we're not talking about politics here. My point is, Star Wars was always escapism. Same thing for Marvel. And before people, oh no, they were talking about the Cold War and just stop it. Just stop it. I understand that there might have been a few issues that can be explored through Marvel or Star Wars, but it's escapism. Overall, it's let's show people something eye-popping, something cool, something mythological that gets people going, wow, this is incredible. Let's not bring in our fucking modern day issues into stuff properties that we're supposed to escape our issues from. There's my fucking soapbox moment. Darth David, overs and outs. Mic the drop.
Oh, I can talk now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I was actually telling a friend about this earlier. The problem with Marvel is they're oversaturated the market with not great product, with subpar product. And, when you think back, all the way back to 2008, when the first Iron Man came out, it was like an event. It was like, oh man, Iron Man's going to be on the big screen. Holy cow, I've got to be at like the midnight showing type of thing. Maybe that was just me being young and like dumb. But now,
definitely dumb.
Okay.
I'll say that. In terms of dumb, yes.
Okay.
100%.
Well, at any,
So wait, hold on. Young or dumb? What were the two options that we could choose from?
probably both.
Being what?
Young and
And what?
dumb.
Dumb. Option number 2.
Okay.
I'm going to put it in vote. Yaddle heads, let's vote right now. Young, number 1, raise your hand if it's number 2 if it's dumb. Yeah, they're all the Yaddle heads because I have the
could
dark
be
side of
both.
the Force.
It could
I'm
be
seeing
both.
them in their cars at work right now. They're raising their hands. Dumb. When people think of you, first and foremost, they do not think of young. They think of dumb. That is sort of what you are synonymous with. Darth David synonymous with entertainment.
And you want chicken wings again? Right? Yeah. Okay. You'll stop this diatribe right now. If you want any kind of fucking food coming from me, pal.
All right, go ahead.
So, Marvel used to be an event, and every product kind of was self-contained, and there was a little bit of an extra. Now everything is just a lead-in, a tie-in. There's nothing interesting. Stuff is underwhelming.
I'll say this. After a number of years, the Marvel fans didn't want to have to. Early on, when you have lots of excitement, you probably can get people to see 2 or 3 movies a year and stay up to date on stuff. But once the Marvel fans, I think, gave 10 years of that, slow down and make things special and not have to pay attention to that. And the quote from Bob Iger was, too much Marvel content and not enough of it was good.
Yeah.
That is legitimately a thing. But it's not Marvel Channel. Let's get into fucking Star Wars.
Well, I think that...
Damon Lindelof. Here's another one. This is the point.
Yeah, but
why does this happen so many fucking times with Star Wars where I keep hearing that there's someone who I like...
Well, that's on you.
Who has gotten some sort of movie... No, I mean, it's happened a lot, though.
Yeah.
Turnover and problems... And,
because
directors and projects getting pulled away or fired?
Well, because because they don't want to shell $200 million and only make, with a movie like Star Wars.
So what's the point of announcing all these people?
Well, I think
why announce Damon Lindelof, Patty Jenkins, the Lego guys?
Well, those guys were attached to the Solo film, and then they fired them.
They fired all 3 of them. They fired Patty Jenkins. They fired this guy. They fired Trank. I mean, Trank for good reasons. But my point is, now we're getting a lot of people who, we were told this, but now they're not going to, get the thing. Well, this person's getting a movie now.
Well, look, if Disney's, I guess, hurting for money, if they're firing people, if they're making all these cuts and all that stuff, I guess maybe they've overextended themselves as far as the content base goes, and they haven't gotten the returns on their investment. Or maybe there's some other bullshit. But I would think, honestly, I'm fine right now with where Star Wars is because I don't want.
Oh, I love it.
I don't want Star Wars.
I'm not mad.
I don't want to be where. The point I'm trying to make is that I wouldn't want Star Wars to become. I don't want to be Star Wars fatigued. I don't want it to all be the same. I don't want to feel like I have to pass on a show. Like, I want to watch animated stuff.
I agree. One of the things that I'm happy about with Star Wars right now is that we're getting so much different types of Star Wars. I love the fact that we have Tony Gilroy Star Wars and Jon Favreau Star Wars. And I want more big-time filmmakers and say, you give us a Star Wars. That's what I want.
I just think that with 3 movies, what Marvel has done is people are tired of it. So now with Star Wars, maybe you put 3 shows out a year, continue with that, and then maybe 1 movie every...
Do you think that Star Wars...
maybe 1 movie a year.
Big question is this. Should the Star Wars... Let's play this out.
Okay.
Let's say Bobby Iger has come in here. He's shaking it up. Lucasfilm has been shook up. We're going to get back to it. We're going to do some stuff. But we want some movies, too. Bob Iger says, look at what just happened with Maverick and Tom Cruise. Don't tell me that people still don't go to the movie theater. Okay, Maverick made $1.5 billion. Hell, do you know that Steven Spielberg says that Tom Cruise saved the movie industry? He's that high on the Maverick. I'm just saying. It's not simply that it made money. It's because Spielberg said Cruise really stuck to his guns with this will only be put in the movie theater, not on streaming. Spielberg says he was very defiant with that, and as a result, people went out and saw the movie. Hey, Spielberg. Anyway, the point is this. The point is this.
They don't want to willy-nilly it. I think they really want to do it right, because if they put
That's not where I'm going with this. Bob Iger. Do you want him to make the Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni universe of Star Wars? Is that the movie franchise?
Yes.
So it's not going to be the sequel, people.
Oh God, no.
So
no, I mean
no
like
new move. So in other words, if we're gonna have, let's say, an Avengers style thing where we'll have 4 or 5, big time movies connected in Star Wars, you want the era to be Mando? You want the era to be sequel?
No, I say
I know the fucking High Republic with you because it's
No,
some
it's not
fucking
even the
loser ass, stupid ass video game that you I'm sorry. I love Star Wars and I love Star Wars video games. Role playing?
No.
I fucking hate
Can you
all
let me
that
talk?
shit.
Can you let me say it? They put out a map and they say, okay, pick an era. And they say you can't do anything in these eras. So you can't make a prequel era. You can't make a original trilogy era. You can't make a sequel trilogy era. But hey, if you want to do 5,000 years in the future, pick up there. If you want to do 10,000 years in the past, go there. There's all this you could pick from all that extended universe, all the books and shit like that.
So you don't want. So wait a second. So you wouldn't want then the era to be in the Mandalorian era?
No.
You want something totally new?
Yeah. Because I think
that's I think the biggest issue that they have right now is for the movies. What do we do? Do we do Mando and start telling Mando as on a much bigger level? Mando has established that, but he has been. You can count on Mando as sort of right now the Star Wars Batman. He's had some Batman comparisons. I think forget about the character, how he moves, how he's got the gadgets and stuff. That's kind of who he is for Star Wars. You can sort of count on him for that. But again, do you want to take a TV character and put him on?
No.
Is that going to get a huge return?
I think that the way they're doing things right now is fine. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. If they want to make a Star Wars movie,
they want to make Star Wars movies, dude.
Pick something that we've never seen before. That way we can play around with it.
Okay,
and that
different era.
And that the nerds and people like us won't be nitpicky about it and make it good.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, people just want to see a fucking good movie.
I hear that.
And I feel like everyone gets bogged down in bullshit when it's always going to have to be good versus evil, or you pick any of the 7 plot Jungian archetypes and you make a fucking story about it. It's really simple.
Listen, I've got a whole 9-num fucking story arc that I could give to Iger right now. Iger, 9-num. I got a whole fucking 9-num movie arc. If you want, call me, Bob. Bob, the ideas from Darth David lately are just do one after another.
And maybe that's the way to go.
Hire a fucking psychopath like me who just gives 8,000 crazy ass ideas, and then the Lucasfilm Story Group takes a couple of the good ones and polishes into a series. I'm all for that. I just want to get paid $3 million annually.
Take a bunch of fans, put them in a room.
Fans? I offered me! This is my fucking idea! That is so typical of this is what happens to me on a daily basis. I like what that guy Eastside Dave does. So I'm just going to take it and do it for myself, never give him credit. Then years later, when I'm a big star, people go, oh, that Dave guy is kind of like you. When really that guy's been ripping me off for years.
Who are you talking about?
Everyone!
You told me to look in the camera, so that's what I'm doing.
No, I mean, this has happened to me for my whole fucking life. Here you are. I give you a goddamn great idea, Bob Iger. I am your idea man. Here's the one thing I can promise. I'm being very serious here, Bob. I will give you literally 100 ideas in a week's time for movies and TV series. Now, I ain't saying some of them aren't going to be batshit crazy. You're going to actually have to put me in a straitjacket while I'm pitching all these ideas. But then you take the ideas, you write them down, and you give them to little people in the story group, and you fucking flesh them out. But everything starts with that one good idea. I got like a zillion up here.
I think also part of the problem is the fleshing out. It's who's fleshing out your good idea, because someone can take a good idea and turn it into absolute dog shit.
I got a fucking idea for a new goddamn TV series. The Ewoks are like pawn stars, guys. Selling, bullshit. Selling junk, going around, going to other people, trying to find their junk. Maybe we have some crossover experiences.
Like
Unkar Plutt. Maybe Unkar Plutt visits Endor. He's got some shit to sell him. The Ewoks, I don't like this piece, but I like that one.
I think of Jawa. Maybe that would fit more like Jawas. I feel like Jawas would be. It's like
you are not changing my idea.
Yeah.
The Ewok Pawn Stars is because we've seen Jawas with their little grubby hands on all these parts.
So it makes
we
sense
we want to experience Ewoks with technology. We're gonna get there with Ewok stars.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I got a whole fucking thing about the Palpatine musical and comedy hour. I mean, you're gonna get tap dancing. You're gonna get a little comedy from Palps.
So
you're
we're doing like singing. A variety show.
Yes, very much like a Cher. Sonny and Cher. Old time musicals. Old time. This kind of.
There's no business like show, business like show, business like now. Good evening and welcome to the Palpatine Comedy Hour. I'm your host, Darth Sidious. Today, we've got all kinds of things. Jar Jar Binks spins the plates. Unkar Plutt does his magic. And don't forget, it's the Greedo 5 minutes of laughter. All on today's Emperor Palpatine Comedy and Musical Hour. My first trick of the day will be to shoot lightning at Jedi Jared into his brain. Watch this.
I'm going to tell Robert to see, I should have asked him to do some post-production. Maybe we can start doing skits where I shoot you with lightning.
Okay.
That's my new thing now. We're going to level up the production here.
Okay.
So, that's that. Everywhere, everything, all at everything, and at once. The brand new movie that has won an Oscar.
Oh,
including giving it an Oscar to Short Round, which I am very pleased about. No, I mean, zero problems with Short Round getting an Oscar.
Data.
Somewhat sad. Fuck Data. He's Short Round. Somewhat sad that Short Round now has an Oscar and fucking Harrison Ford still doesn't.
Does he really not have an Oscar?
No, he's only been nominated one time.
What, Witness?
Should have gotten nomination for Blade Runner.
Or Regarding Henry.
Regarding Henry was his attempt at an Oscar. That was a very obvious, in my opinion, attempt, That was very much in vogue in that time period for either, there's a disability, there's something mental going on, or you're shot. Yeah,
Ritz Crackers.
Yeah, but that was an obvious attempt by Harrison Ford. But anyway.
Well, he's a great actor.
He's a great actor. Everything, everywhere, all at once. They are going to be either getting an episode or directing Skeleton Crew.
Okay.
Or an episode of the Skeleton Crew. Does this mean anything to you? I mean, listen, they just won a whole bunch of Oscars.
Whatever.
But they won a bunch of Oscars.
So what? Carl Weathers has been directing Mando. Give him a fucking show. All his episodes are good.
Well, he just had a Mando episode. We'll talk about it in a little bit. I believe he just directed this past episode.
Yeah, and it was great. He did a great job.
Oh, I know. What? But I mean, he's directing. I mean, that's my point. He is getting opportunities to direct.
So they direct one. Whoever directed it gets one episode.
It's a big deal, though, that guys who just won, a whole bunch of Oscars are immediately going to direct a Star Wars.
Good for them.
So you don't like this movie or the creators of this film?
I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it.
I haven't seen it yet either, but I support the movie because of Short Round.
Okay.
You know me, I'm an indie fan. Second favorite film franchise, behind the Star Wars, of course.
Okay.
And then the third favorite film franchise is going to shock you. It's the Caddyshack. Because of my favorite one, Part 2 with Jackie Mason.
You liked Part 2 more than
And Dan Aykroyd acting like Bill Murray. How dare he?
I'll call you Mr. Sanders.
Dan Aykroyd,
Mr. Sanderson.
Dan Aykroyd literally ripped off his Saturday Night Live and Ghostbuster pal.
And I'll call
did
you
the same thing, only weirder, yeah.
Mrs.
It was more of like a Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs meets Bill Murray from Caddyshack. All right. So, thoughts and opinions. Thoughts and opinions about the Everywhere All at Once. How about Short Round?
I don't care.
Happy about Short Round?
I love Short Round. He's been working.
Give him a Star Wars character.
Oh, man.
Jedi or something like that?
No, he'd probably be a Jedi.
Why not?
He'd probably be like because here's the thing about him. He's been working in Hollywood.
X-Wing pilot, too?
No, he'd probably be a Jedi. He's been a fight coordinator for like, he's one of the premier fight coordinators.
He was great as a kid. When you see Temple of Doom and you see the martial arts, no, there's scenes where Short Round straight up kicks ass. And he does like several things, like a quick spin kick here, kick, and a thing. It's like, whoa! Especially for a kid, he was amazing. I remember. Look, he was actually like a couple of years older than Little David, who did see Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom in the movie theater. That was my first one I saw in the theater, and I fucking loved it. And I remember thinking, this kid is incredible with the martial arts and whatnot. So I'm all for Short Round getting something.
No, he was the fight coordinator on the first X-Men film, and he's just been one of the most sought-out like fight coordinators for like the last 20 years.
Well, let's get him a job. Let him do something. Sad news to report, Yaddle heads. Ewok Paul Grant has died. Not one of the main Ewoks.
He played. I looked you're like,
we tried to find his name.
You're like, find his name.
I did ask Jared, please find his name.
And
let's give this man some goddamn dignity and respect. And as he goes to Yaddle heaven.
And all it says on his IMDb page, on his Wikipedia's IMDb page, is just Ewok.
Ewok, nothing.
He's the Ewok.
He's just Ewok.
He's the Ewok.
The amazing thing about this is I actually got a text message from my radio station boss, who not only is our radio station boss, he actually is the boss for all
He's the cap
of the radio stations in New Jersey, because we're owned by a big media company, and the media company has like 80 stations across America, and in our state, we got like 6 or 7 or whatever, and this guy runs them all. And so he's a very, very busy. He's an excellent man. I'm not just kissing butt. He's a great leader, but he's also very busy. And he's got a million different responsibilities. And then yesterday, of all things, I get a text from him that said, Paul Grant has died. I had to click on it. I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, oh, yeah. I never know how to respond to the boss in that situation. So I go, oh. And I just wrote, poor little guy.
He probably LOL.
He did. He gave a little laughing emoji. And I didn't mean it like that he was actually short. I meant like, oh, poor little guy. But then, yeah, little guy, because he's a small little person. He's an Ewok. Yeah. But that was fun. Ewoks are polarizing for some people. I want to get into my Ewok diatribe. What's Wicket's name again?
Oh,
he's an actor. He's a legit actor.
Warwick Davis.
Love him. Love Ewoks. I always had this issue. When I was a kid, on Christmas or Thanksgiving, my cousins would come over, and then by like 4 or 5 o'clock, after all the fun, the eating, whatever would commence, we would go down to the basement. And I would always choose a Star Wars movie for everybody to watch. This was the tradition.
Okay.
I remember as a kid, and remember when Return of the Jedi came out in 83, I'm like 5 years old, okay? I love the Ewoks. So I love Return of the Jedi. So I remember saying to people, hey, we're going to do Return of the Jedi this year. That's the Christmas movie. And then the older teenagers and stuff like that would always moan and groan. Oh, we don't want to watch the Ewoks. The Ewok, teddy bears. Ewoks are and even to this day, I oftentimes will hear, I can't get into the Ewoks. They're cute little teddy bears and this and that. And I go, slow your roll, baby. Because get ready for a Davy Mac eye-opening Star Wars diatribe. It starts right now. Okay. Teddy bears. So let me get this straight. Did you guys not see the same Return of the Jedi that I saw? The first time we meet an Ewok, it's Wicket when he meets Leia. And what does he do? He's got his fucking spear with a fucking blade on it, and he's ready to stab fucking Princess Leia in the stomach if she gets too close to him. He's threatening her with a weapon. She takes off her hat. She has to show the hat. The fucking guy grabs his staff again. He's ready to fucking poke her eye out. He's ready to fucking chop her eye out with his fucking spear. She's got to show him, no, it's just a hat, you stupid little fucking asshole, and here's some crackers. Now calm down. So that's the first time we meet Ewoks. Second time we meet Ewoks is fucking Han, Chewie, and then fucking Luke Skywalker. They get caught in the net. They get let down, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of Ewoks surrounding them. Spears, axes, threatening them. Then the next time we see the Ewoks, they're trying to barbecue Han Solo, Chewie, and Luke Skywalker alive. Repeat, they're trying to cook them and then eat them. Teddy bears. The Ewoks, again, we're going to bake and eat Han, Luke, and Chewie. Teddy bears, they were fucking ready to cook them.
Yeah, but they also were worshiping C-3PO.
And then
Golden
we see the Ewoks. They decide we're going to get involved in this war. And what do? They fucking design trees and fucking logs and stuff to literally murder
stormtroopers.
Hundreds of stormtroopers. And then, when the movie ends, we get fucking Ewoks playing the goddamn bongos on stormtrooper helmets, having a huge feast. I don't think this is not a stretch to say I'm fucking sure what they were eating at that feast. Stormtroopers!
I don't know about
Hell yes! Where were the stormtroopers? They weren't in their fucking uniforms. They had taken them out, they had beheaded them, and they would fucking throw the head somewhere in the goddamn river, and they would cook the bodies because we saw them trying to cook Han, Luke, and Chewie. So they were fucking cooking the stormtroopers, so my head canon. And regardless of whether or not they were cooking stormtroopers, they were decapitating stormtroopers. They were playing fucking bongos on stormtrooper helmets. The helmets didn't magically come off, dude.
Yeah, you pull them off.
Oh, come on, bro. These guys were already going to cannibalize Han and Luke.
Now
they were as hardcore, is my point, as it gets. This is a savage, murderous, fucking freaky little group of monsters. But keep going with your bullshit of the teddy bears thing. Because it's not the way I saw Ewoks. They're fucking savage warriors.
Oh, I didn't.
And I believe my evidence has just fucking proven that. You fuck.
So you don't want an Ewok as a pet?
I'm a Sith. I can handle anybody. I can train anybody. First of all, dogs love me. So I'm positive that I would get along with an Ewok. But I would definitely train my Ewok to kill you if you got out of line. Okay. Or if you stopped showing up without food. I've had an Ewok right behind you ready to pop out and fucking choke you out with fucking piano wire. Like they did with
Luca Brasi.
No, I'm thinking like Goodfellas. Yeah, Godfather.
It was Luca Brasi.
It wasn't Luca Brasi.
Yeah, they killed Luca Brasi with a piano wire or the guillotine.
No, they stabbed his fucking hand.
And then choked him out with a piano wire.
I'm thinking the guy in the car. I'm thinking when they killed Carlo.
Scotch.
In the car.
I love that scene. He's like, Scotch. Pre-water. I'm like, you pre-water Scotch?
Pre-water. All right, so let's get into a little Bad Batch talk. Mando talk.
We can do Bad Batch into Bad Batch.
No. Mando, then a quick Bad Batch. Star Wars Cage Match. Get out of here. I gotta go and race to get my mom at the airport, who somehow is bent time because her plane that is delayed is showing up 2 hours early.
Okay.
Don't blame me, Yaddle heads. Blame Beanie. That's my mom's name, Beanie Mac. Blame her. Thank you. Go ahead.
No, I think
Mando, episode 4. What are we thinking?
I think it was an excellent episode. I don't know how they're going to tie everything together in the next 4 episodes.
Well, okay. Right off the bat, let me address that. Starting next year, we got to do 10 episodes. I will compromise. I'm not saying we have to do 12 like Andor. 8 is too short now. I do think that. It's you wait 2 years, and unlike Game of Thrones and Stranger Things, Game of Thrones and Stranger Things will never give you half-hour episodes. And I look at, Mando, we're waiting the same length. And you'll always get, and Game of Thrones, I know Stranger Things was 8 episodes. Game of Thrones back in the day would always be 10 episodes. The first few seasons anyway, 10 episodes. I think 10 is a good number just because mentally it makes it feel like it's not that short. You got the double digits thing, it's rounder. And for an episode like this, I thought the episode was great, but it was just a half an hour. And it's like, shit. That half an hour then, as soon as that ended, we're now halfway through Mando. It's just a little short, especially after Andor gave us 12 episodes, and most of them really were 50 minutes. Yeah, 50 minutes to an hour.
No.
Now again, I'd rather Mando have a 30-minute episode. That's great, which I thought this was a really good episode, if not great. I'd rather have that than the 45-minute episode that has 15 minutes of shit in it. But at the same time, if we're gonna, not have a consistent running time, and it's gonna be, one episode can be an hour, the next episode could be 30 minutes. Give us 10 episodes. Let's really think about that. Shit, it would be awesome if they could add 2 episodes to this season. I feel like I agree with you. I feel like it's almost now not moving too quickly, but like, oh my God, we're running out of time.
Do you think that they just didn't do enough with this season?
I can't go there yet. We've seen half of it, and I have been ecstatic. For the first 3 episodes, and I liked this episode, but I was ecstatic. Okay,
let me clarify.
Yes,
I meant like they haven't really been. They didn't do a lot of marketing of season 3. Like they would drop trailers in here and there, but like I remember when the first season and the second season came out. They were like...
Yeah, it was a bigger deal because it was... But also, the season 1 was literally what was kicking off Disney Plus. Let's not forget.
I understand that.
So it became their flagship show. Not just of Star Wars, but of Disney Plus.
But the end of season 2 was like probably one of the biggest fucking...
Get on that microphone. Be loud.
The end of season 2 was one of the biggest fucking things ever happened in Star Wars / Disney Plus. I mean, with the whole, Luke Skywalker thing...
What's your point? I'm trying to judge this season.
I know, but I just feel like they didn't market it enough.
Well, who cares about marketing? Is this season... It's not about marketing. We don't fucking care about what the audience thinks of the marketing. We want to care about what do you think of this season?
I like it a lot. I think it's very much a medieval tale.
Okay.
It's that he has a quest. There's redemption. He's got his page, he's training Grogu as his, page, his squire. And we're seeing a lot more, a lot of medieval, like, that bird creature was, I'm like, I turned to my wife, I'm like, that's a dragon.
Yeah. I didn't, I hadn't planned on even discussing Game of Thrones until we started the show, but there was a little Game of Thrones-ish to this episode, and I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too.
The Mandalorian in the House of Mandalorian lends itself to that, so that was fine with me. Let's try to give some order here. Okay. Sure. How the show starts out, the episode starts out with Mando and with her, and there's training, and we get to see Grogu wearing a little wrist thing, and he shoots the kid there.
A paintball gun.
Yeah, he shoots the paintball gun at the kid, and I thought that was fun. I just learned that the little Mando kid is the same kid who played the Tusken Raider kid in Book of Boba Fett. They used the same actor.
Was it Favreau's kid? Because
whoever that black-haired kid is, we saw him before. We saw him without his helmet on.
Because the big guy that his father, that's
Vizsla.
Vizsla is at least voiced by Favreau.
Yeah, I don't know. I doubt it's Favreau's son. I think it's probably an actor. I don't know why you would think that. They showed the kid's fucking face on the other episode.
Okay.
Yeah, he looked very much like an actor. If you one of those, that's an actor type of kid. The haircut, the face. This was, and maybe it's Jon Favreau's son though. If it is, then Jon Favreau has a very kid actor-y looking child. I'll say that. That was cool. Okay. And then, though, right after, as we do that, that kid gets taken by a big dragon. And they first time we ever saw him run out of fuel with their jetpacks.
Well, it's only
that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, well, jetpacks aren't supposed to be like long distance travel. It's supposed to be like getting from a short distance.
Seems like they've always had a lot of fuel in those things before.
They don't usually use it for extended periods of time.
All right. And then the dragon takes the kid back to the lair. The Bo-Katan, she, even though they run out of fuel, Bo-Katan follows the dragon in her ship.
Yes.
I thought it was odd, though, one little kind of thing. I thought it was odd that she would return to them. And it felt a little nonchalant to me. That she was like, I followed the dragon. He went to his lair. I think we should get a hunting party right now. Everyone's like, okay. And it's like, whoa, how do you know that fucking dragon didn't just eat that kid? Like, what? Like, the dragon is flying with the kid. To me, it's like, that has to be Bo-Katan's mission right now. Maybe the smarter move would be Bo-Katan just fucking should have picked up those guys. Hey, guys, hop in my fucking jet. Let's go after the kid. She literally let the dragon go to its lair, flew all the way back, told these guys, and then had this giant excursion that had to take 3 or 4 days, rock climbing. Why were they rock climbing if they had jetpacks?
Oh, they had to be quiet.
Quiet, okay. That's right. I do remember that. Nevertheless, rock climbing this and that. To me, that kid would have been eaten. The fucking animal kingdom isn't like that. You don't get you don't get some food, and then, except for Wampas. But that I could actually understand because he was in the cold. So he was storing Luke, in the cold to get him nice and cold. He likes cold meat. That I actually understood. But this wasn't that. The sense of urgency was lacking a little, in my opinion. That was a little bit strange. However, she gets the Mandos. They go. They fight, they get the kid, and Bo-Katan's really proving herself to be one of them now at this point.
Well, I think the redemption arc isn't really about Mando redeeming himself. It's more of Bo-Katan like redeeming and finding faith in being a Mandalorian, because when we meet Bo-Katan now, she's completely like very much delusion. Like she's disillusioned, but she wants the glory. And now she's saying, this is how I go back. Like I'm rediscovering my heritage and who I am. And I think she's like really starting to catch on because these people believe in it. And now she's like, oh, okay, I see what they believe in now.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And then the episode ends with basically Bo-Katan saying to the armorer, have you ever seen a mythosaur? And it felt like the armorer didn't either believe her or just it felt too like the armorer thought the mythosaur was a mystical beast rather than being something that was real. And Bo-Katan's like, but I saw it. It was real. What do you think of what is the theory behind this? Is Bo-Katan not sure if she saw what she saw? She's not confident in what she saw?
I think the way you have to look at the armorer is kind of like a shaman. Like that's what she...
Let me break it for 2 seconds. Question.
Go ahead.
Sith Stanley.
Yes.
The third host of Yaddle Chattle, who trust me, Yaddle heads are trying to get him to replace Jedi Jared. But then
anytime, Stanley.
But that's the point. Jedi Jared then threatens, then fine, I'll just walk, and then we can't do that. But Sith Stanley says he thought the armorer could make a heel turn, or Bo-Katan could make a heel turn.
No.
He's a big wrestling fan like me. Do you see a heel turn or basically a turn to being a bad guy?
No.
From either the armor or Bo?
No. I see this.
Not Bo-Katan either?
No, I think Bo-Katan's having a rebirth now. I think she's feeling like more of a Mandalorian, part of a tribe, part of a community than she probably has in a very long time.
You don't think there could be something between her and the Armorer in the future?
I think what the Armorer was saying was basically you're having some kind of religious experience. Like, you might have seen the Mythosaur, but you're kind of finding your faith again in being a Mandalorian.
Fair enough.
It's not just this pride of being a Mandalorian. You're feeling like a Mandalorian. And I think she probably did see a Mythosaur, but I also at the same time see, like I said, the Armorer is like a shaman. Like, she is a leader. The ritual of like making the armor, it's a ritualistic thing. They talk about, how when she makes the armor for Grogu, she's like talking about how the community comes together and pools their resources for a foundling. There's always like there's so much layered religious overtones with like this story. It's really fucking good.
I'm all for it. I know that I feel like this was another kind of, I feel like the last 2 episodes got some mixed reactions even from Mando fans. And the some of the sentiment with this one just seemed to be, a little short and this and that, and now we're at the halfway mark and people are anxious. That's why I think 10 episodes is better than 8. I don't think it's that much of a difficult request to ask for 2 additional episodes. I'm not asking for 4 and making it 12, just 2 episodes, because it is a little bit anxious. You do wait a long time for these. And then you get the half-hour episode, and it was pleasant. What did you think of? All right, we skipped some of the Grogu origin story.
So Grogu basically
Order 66 again. What do you think? I like Order 66. There are people who are, this again? I'm like, are you fucking crazy?
Well, you know what this is like?
The Order 60, here you go. Bob Iger, what time is it right now? It's 57:20 into Yaddle Chattle. 57 minutes, 20 seconds. Seriously, here's your home run. We're going to have a fucking show called Order 66. Because think of it. It's the biggest single day in Star Wars history, and there are no shortage. There's probably 1,000 stories you could tell. You not only have Anakin turning on Palpatine, you have huge confrontations with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Grievous. You got all the stuff going on with Yoda, but obviously the turning of the clones on the Jedi. Remember, this is the same day that the Jedi get extinct. How many Jedi got massacred on this day? 1,000 people? 1,000 Jedi? You could have a fucking insanely great show telling it from different perspectives. Telling Order 66 and telling that day through just a whole bunch of, even if it was a one-off series of, again, 10 episodes, not 8, but 10, a Jedi perspective, a Sith, a Stormtrooper, a Rebel, a monster, a creature, a Tatooine, this or that. That is something that would be fucking fantastic. So basically my whole thing is for the people complaining about, I don't want to see the attack of the temple. Are you fucking crazy? You stay by yourself. Okay, this is the most important day in the history of Star Wars. And the attack on the temple, all kinds of shit went down. You have Jedi's getting killed over here, but you have Jedi's getting killed. You have some Jedi's escaping. No, we need to see more of that day, not less.
Well, do you know what
that day has still not been shown, I think, close to its potential on screen. And I'm not saying George didn't have all the time in the world. It was all about Yoda versus Palpatine and Anakin versus Obi-Wan. So he had chances. He had time for, the green girl gets killed. The fucking guy with the tubes is in the spaceship. He gets killed. The guy on the motorcycle gets killed. But we're talking about 1,000 Jedi got killed on that day. We're talking about Coruscant was fucking crazy that day. Between the temple and what was going on in the Senate. Like, there is an absolute story. There's a million stories right in that day. I want to see more because I think that day is extremely important historically.
Well, what I was going to say is...
So there's an idea, Bob Iger, an entire series or special for Order 66. Bam, Darth David.
Do you know what it is? It's...
So good.
It's the...
Idea machine.
It's the Kennedy assassination. Everyone remembers where they were. Like, you ask anyone from that generation, and it's... Everyone remembers exactly where they were when they heard Kennedy got shot.
By the CIA. Continue.
Or 9/11. That would be like, everyone remembers where they were when they heard that the towers got hit. It is, in this universe, it's probably one of the biggest.
Yeah, so anyone
things.
complaining online about, I'm sick of seeing Jedi Temple or Order 66, go fuck yourselves hard. See, the other Star Wars podcasts don't say that, but Yaddle Chattle we do, because we don't give a shit about, making money.
Well,
we'll never have this fucking advertised. Because who the fuck is going to fucking sponsor Yaddle, baby? You know what I'm saying, baby?
Yes, but for your sakes, let's get into the...
Quick Bad Batch. Yeah. Not a great episode. I don't like that place that they're living on.
Well, that's going to change.
Also, I noticed something else, too. There is... On these new episodes of Bad Batch, there are warnings that say, caution, this contains tsunami and earthquake footage. A cartoon now. We have to put warnings of this is going to contain a tsunami or earthquake. On a cartoon, we got to put warnings ahead. I remember when I was a child, my mom let me watch The Untouchables when I was 10 years old. Robert De Niro beat someone in the head with a baseball bat during dinner. Now kids need warnings for cartoons when a simple earthquake is going to happen. They had earthquakes when Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote were around. They'd probably be warning people that the following coyote is going to attempt to murder this innocent animal multiple times. Warning. I thought, my God, Disney. No wonder Iger's back. Spread the magic and the love and the joy and the imagination. Relax. Relax.
The kids will be okay.
Kids aren't fucking made. I know. It's like they're not made of glass. Just relax.
So you didn't like this episode?
Bad Batch?
Yeah.
I like the Crosshair stuff. Okay. Half in, half out. I love the Crosshair stuff. I don't like that land they're on. I can't get into it. I am finding the Bad Batch themselves. The Bad Batch have lost me. Not the whole relationship. You saw, if you were watching and listening to Yaddle Chattle, you saw the slow Darth David descension into madness and anger. And so, in order to stay happy, I've literally given up on Omega and the entire Bad Batch as characters I either care about or even like. I don't like any of them as people. I really don't like Hunter, Echo, Zeb, Omega. I don't like any of them.
They really haven't given any of these characters any sort of development.
Nah, they suck. This show sucks.
The only one that's really had any kind of development is Crosshair.
I told you last week, this should be called the Crosshair Show. Fucking Omega and the Bad Batch need to be the spin-offs of the Crosshair Show. For real. Omega, Hunter, Tech, fuck all of y'all.
All of them.
All of you. This isn't just an Omega thing anymore. I don't like the Bad Batch themselves. They're fucking assholes. They don't know what the hell they're doing anymore. I don't like them. I really don't. I find them actually to be a little bit cowardly now. You have like fucking, was it Tech or Echo saying, yeah, I'm out there with Rex, like starting a fucking squadron of guys to take on the Empire. And you got Hunter like, oh, come on, you can't possibly do that. It's like, what a fucking pussy. What a bitch. Wait. So the Empire's murdering you and all of your brothers. And Hunter's fucking comeback to that guy was, oh, you're going to fail. Don't even try. I actually don't find the fucking Bad Batch now to have redeeming qualities. Fuck them all. Fuck them. This is about Crosshair and Crosshair only. Omega, Hunter, Zeb, all of you guys. Fuck you. hate this show. Come on, let's go. Let's get cage match in.
All right, I got it.
Well, I mean, come on. You're allowed to do a Bad Batch comment. I know I gotta get that mom to the airport. What did you think?
I didn't think it was that bad. You're right.
The crosshair shit was great. I'll be fair. The crosshair shit was great.
I thought that okay. Echo. I know where they're going with the season. It's just the Omega stuff is just.
It's the worst.
Enough.
It's the worst. It's the worst. They fucked this show up big time. This show ain't Clone Wars spinoff. This show is closer to the Resistance show. That was for 5-year-olds. That's why my son refuses to watch The Bad Batch, and he's a mega Star Wars fan. He's 13 years old. My daughter is a big-time Star Wars fan. Not as intense as Sis Stanley, but she likes it. Jedi Juliana likes it. She's 14. These kids won't have anything to do with The Bad Batch. They're like, that shit sucks.
I don't blame them.
And I can't blame them either.
If we didn't have to cover it for the show, I probably wouldn't be watching it.
We wouldn't be. This show would be over for me. Star Wars cage match. Let's get out of here. I gotta pick up Beanie at the airport. I'm actually late.
Okay.
She's actually like sitting at the fucking airport, and I'm here at the Jersey Shore, and I gotta drive up to fucking Newark.
All right. Do you want it?
I'm gonna go 100 miles an hour.
The Bad Batch versus Ewoks.
The Bad Batch versus Ewoks. Ewoks will decapitate the Bad Batch and then hopefully cook them. They will roast them 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And they'll cook them for a half an hour. They'll baste them. They'll put them in, they'll put some nice condiments on them, make some sides, maybe some mashed potatoes. And we're going to have a great feast and eat the fuck out of the Bad Batch. Those guys suck. Ewoks every single day. Look at the guy right above my head. He's badass. He's got an AK, and he's got a little fucking handgun there, I believe.
Do you feel
Ewoks
better about your...
all the way.
All right, let's end it with that. I won't even...
No, you gotta,
I'm not going to pick any.
You have to.
Do I really have
yes.
to? Do I really have to pick the Bad Batch?
No. This one time you can agree with me.
All right, I'll agree with you. I'll say the Ewoks are going to roast them, toast them, and mash
Ooh,
them
I like
in a
that.
stew.
Roast them, toast them, and you got to do a third one. Boast. You can boast. Roast them, toast them, and then boast.
What? No, roast them, toast them, and put them in a stew.
No. You had the oast rhyme is what I was going for. Roast them, toast them, and boast them, or something like that. Let's work on that.
Sure.
I want that could be potentially a Yaddle Chattle phrase. Yaddle Chattle, a Star Wars podcast. Roast them, toast them, and I feel like we gotta get boast. Roast them, toast them, and boast them, but that doesn't make sense. Boast them, about them.
We'll work about it.
Roast them, toast them, and boast about them.
Okay.
Not so bad. We gotta work on that.
That's fine.
Let's get out of here quick.
All right, real quick.
Do your plugs, but do them shorter. Just
I'll
hit the main
I'll keep.
one.
Yeah. Patreon.com/EastsideDave.
Oh, there you go.
That's it.
Patreon.com/EastsideDave.
Yes.
It's the new Patreon channel. The Yaddle heads get early access. Davey Mac Sports Program fans get early access by about an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, sometimes even 4 hours, sometimes a half a day to the episodes. And in April, we are doing a specialty show, my look at the SiriusXM satellite radio years. That will be in April. That will premiere at it's a very, very affordable tiers. We actually only have one tier for $2.50. The SiriusXM show idea will be a
higher tier.
Higher tier.
But we're not asking for much. $2.50 a month right now. That's it.
That's it. It's good. It's good, and it's only going to grow. And we're going to do more shows, more specialty shows, more projects, and this is going to be fun. And you know me. I don't take advantage. I don't fucking overcharge. I don't do bullshit, and I'm sure as fuck ain't lazy. I've been doing fucking multiple radio shows now for 20 fucking years, gang. Okay? I got to stick to this. And unlike other people, I can come up with content each and every fucking week. I don't need the goddamn bullshit drama, because I got this. I got this up here.
Well, thank you guys very much for tuning in this week, and I guess that's it.
Overall thoughts of Mando.
I like Mando. I love it. It's great. It's everything you love about Star Wars.
And overall thoughts of Episode 4.
I liked it. Carl Weathers directing.
He does a good job.
Oh, he does an excellent job.
For me, overall thoughts are it was a good episode. Yeah, listen, you know me. I love The Mandalorian. I loved Andor. Shit, I loved Obi-Wan and Book of Boba Fett. But Mando and Andor are the two best shows. I love the fact that they're different. I love everything that The Mandalorian is doing. I am just a little bit anxious that the season is now halfway over and that commenced on a half-hour episode. You know?
We'll see.
Almost wish they could have almost reversed episodes 3 and 4. And maybe that would have been a little more satisfying. I don't know. Anyway, listen. He's Jedi Jared. My name is Darth David, everybody. Yaddleheads, we love you. We thank you. Good night. Goodbye.